Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the TCS eSports League. We're going to go into Game 2 of our third week of League play. Our second match is going to be Swiss Incredible Rebels versus the Monks. Once again, my name is Switchblade Jay. Joining me in a very last-minute clutch situation is another jar of jam. What have you thought of today so far? Obviously, we've only seen one match between the Whiffmasters and Helvets, but what's your take on the current scene of the Swiss Rocket League?
I mean, I know previously, really, I only knew one player from the Switzerland for certain, and that was Eichholf. He is Swiss. Great. I was afraid I would be wrong, and only my one player that I know to be Swiss would not be Swiss, and that would be complete another disappointment in everyone. But hey, I'm enjoying it so far. I am feeling like if I would be playing, I would be living in Switzerland, I would be able to fit in the scene pretty well. And as you've told me during the break, each team is allowed one player from a different country. So we need 2 Swiss players and then one maybe from another one. So for example, team Swiss Incredible Rebels are playing with RNZ, who is from Germany. Monks, the team on the other side of the field today, has a sub, Sabo Muffins. But I don't believe that Sabo is playing today. Nope, it's indeed Bad Monk, Death Monk, and Sad Monk. I wish somebody will tell me the history behind that team, because it seems like one of those, bands who only use pseudonyms, like you don't know anything about them. Seems like the same situation.
Well, actually, it is a very similar situation, actually. These guys have been playing together for a little bit of a while now, and, they've committed to each other so much that they've named each other after monks, obviously. They've got their each individual style of monk, and obviously they are the team of the monks. So, let that sort of sink things in. It does mean that the team play is quite okay, actually, Jam. Unfortunately, they're not quite the best players around, but certainly they do kind of remind me a lot of complexity, like the complexity method roster, how they've been together for so long, and they were such a formidable force because their team play and chemistry was so solid that they were still able to hang at the top level for all of their run, essentially.
Well, I'm looking forward to that one. If that's their playstyle, I absolutely love complexity. They're my top team to cheer for. And well, they haven't been really winning much, but it's always nice to see them at the top of the rankings and top of leagues and tournaments. For Monks, though, I feel like Death Monk, I can get behind, like Death Ray, like something killing. But Sad Monk and Bad Monk, really, you're setting yourself up for a little bit of a failure. Let's see how their passing plays play as RNZ booms one straight off the wall, where the expecting hands of the Monks are already waiting.
The Monks are in the orange side. It's Swiss Incredible Rebels in the blue. Right now, good shots coming through from the Monks, and there we go. The distraction, the play, and the backline start for the orange side of the court.
That was such a slowly unfolding play, while a whiff really contributed to this one. I think the Swiss Incredible Rebels were waiting for that touch to happen. Instead, it's coming in of a Bad Monk as a third player, making sure that he's the last one. He has the most time to make a judgment of the situation. He puts it exactly where it needs to. The Swiss Rebels not making their time.
Yeah, of course, should also remind you the current situation the Monks are at. They've lost their 2 opening weeks at 3-0 sweep, so they are currently 6-0 down on their games. And they're up against the Swiss Incredible Rebels, who have swept both of their games, so they're 6-0 up so far in league play. So not the best of teams to come up against if you are currently at the bottom of the table. The Monks starting things off all right. Going to get the opening goal. Oh, and just about save the follow-up coming through. The demos as well. The sacrifice from Death Monk will not be enough. Unfortunately, Mirrorwing will still get it past the last line. And it's 1-1 apiece.
That is fantastic sacrifice. Raptor tried to roll into that ball, instead misses it completely. But what a shot from Mirrorwing. That had a little bit of energy after the redirect happened into the net. He still put just enough power to get it past Bad Monk. Bad Monks themselves, I've looked at their history, and they actually weren't as bad in those games. Every single game that they've lost were pretty much close one goal affair. So here they still have a chance, although really the current situation in the league speaks slightly otherwise. We're expecting the Swiss Incredible Rebels to win, but then again, we expected Helvets to win, and look where we ended up, in a completely different situation. Maybe just like for the Whiff Masters, it was their first week that they actually won. It will be a situation for the Bad Monks. Great shot, and Death Monk tries to sprinkle a little bit of death on their opponents.
And Bad Monk here tries to see if he can follow the ball around to follow it up, but at the moment, oh, good shot coming in from Death Monk. Actually, it fakes out the defensive. It looked like Raptor Jesus was on for that, but a small lapse in form will give the second to the favor of the Monk side.
Oh, Jay, you don't know how much pleasure it gives me when you say Raptor Jesus. Just something about that name.
Raptor Jesus.
Yeah, it's a raptor, Jesus. It's a meme. But I like what the Monks are doing. Unlike the previous teams, the Whiffmasters and the Helvets, Monks are really comfortable in getting the ball high up in the air and surprising their opponents from up high top. Well, maybe they're wasting a bit of time and a little bit of speed due to that. Seemingly, their opponents are not always able to deal with that. So they can continue doing the same thing. And if the Swiss Incredible Rebels can't adapt to that one, they might have a recipe for a victory.
Mirrorwing, trying to get a good shot on target, not going to quite happen. Deathmonk will try and follow it around as a result. Goes towards the corner, gives him a little bit of time to rotate, and RNZ will try and set up Mirrorwing to get the clear together, and he goes it right, booms it right down to the other side of the pitch. A good shot coming in from RNZ will follow it up, and it's 2-2, all evened up at the halfway marker.
RNZ looking for an opportunity on the fly. He actually gets... I would expect for him to have something of the sort of a pass toward the center, but he had just enough angle on it to make sure that it flies right past the Monks and being able to hold on to their lead. They're currently really sitting up pretty deep. Those two shots, the only goals they had were off those two shots. Great conversion rate, but I don't think they will be able to survive on that one. But look at that. I love it. I love every single time they make those chips towards the net. They're dangerous. They're threatening. They can either remove the Swiss Incredible Rebels from the net or just make sure that they're first. I think the Monks' goals will still come.
So 2-2 apiece with 2 minutes on the clock. So all the twos right now in game number one. Both teams trying to see if they can break the cycle and get that all-important third. Mirrorwing may have a chance here. Sends it up to RNZ, who's right up in the mid-play. Just about chips it too far to the right field, though. And that's Sandmonk getting control of the clear. Gonna go for the flip reset. Unfortunately, he fluffs up his car angle, so goes right back off that backboard when Mirroring is there to clear. Deathmonk still to follow it through again. The Mirroring on the other side. Sadmonk will still trying to see if he can maintain some sort of presence. Good shot coming in from Badmonk, but all the way in the midfield. Unable to get the full-blown setup. Although Sadmonk still sets things up. RNZ just bumps the ball, just keeps it up high and keeps it away from the shot being set up by the Monk side.
I think the Monks, all they're missing right now is a little bit too much, a little bit extra speed on their aerials because they're getting constantly up there. And there's another proof of that, this time on the ground. But look at that prolonged attack. Monks were not leaving the side of the Swiss Incredible Rebels for quite a while now. And I think by the end of this, they just completely overwhelmed them. Team Sir throw their hands up in the air and say, we give up, because that's just too much pressure for us.
And all down Deathmonk and Sandmonk there to challenge, go for the backboard touch and the second pass play. This time, it's all in the kickoff, 4-2. With Deathmonk starting, and again, Sandmonk is the one that takes the shot. The team play between these two in particular is extremely good.
Oh, Team Swiss Incredible Rebels. Every single time I need to remember that name. Team Sir. I think they committed way too hard on that kickoff. The player cheating up were so close to the ball that there was absolutely no chance for him to... Only one small chance for him to actually be getting anything. Instead is the Swiss Incredible Rebels conceding off that one, and it's completely the opposite, AJ. It's seemingly that the Monks are... They'll be... First of all, that's not will be their first like attempt at winning the series. It'll be their first one-game period. Never before in the TSC League have they actually managed to get even one game off their opponents right now with a 2-goal lead. Well, it still can be squandered. I think that's a really strong team. I like how they play as a team. I like the technical stuff that they're bringing in. Only if they can withstand those 30 seconds that they have against their opponents.
Right now it's in their half of the pitch. Ooh, a bit of a whiff from the defense up high. Deathmonk will still be there in the box regardless to gain control. Ball back up. Good shot to come through on towards target. Goes off the post instead of the part of Badmonk. Still demos out. And if Deathmonk had won that 50-50, then this shot would not be set up. It still goes off the post instead. Sandmonk will keep control, go for a shot of his own. Oh, a masterclass of redirect ball control off the wall, then off himself. It's 5-2 to the favor of the Monks side.
Oh, you look at the control of the car. He flipped back on his wheels so quickly. In any other situation, he might have completely lose the control and just spin out. No, Sadmonk quick on his wheels, quick with thinking, and quick with the passes. And a little cheat up in the center wouldn't mean anything from the Swiss Incredible Rebels, as Monks are looking for the... Well, it's a gift. Raptor Jesus brings a little bit of a gift. And the Monks would gladly take it. Wow, that is... Well, we had already quite a big win with Master versus Helvet, 6-1 in the last game. Now it's the 6-2 biggest scoreline definitely of today. And by a team that we least expected it versus a team that we also least expected to happen against. Swiss Incredible Rebels concede in game number 1 of today against the opponents who are still at the bottom of the bracket, or league play rather. Wow, I'm impressed, Jay. I'm absolutely impressed. Everyone has been painting Monks as a good team, but really a lot of promise, he said, and I think the promise is finally coming into fruition.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. Again, it reminds us a lot of complexity. The team play, the chemistry between this squad is extremely good, and it can work up to be a very, very good performance overall sometimes. But as of yet, so far in the TCS League, they haven't been able to bring it back to fruition. Now it looks like it is finally coming up to face here, and our first game is going to go to the favor of the Monks. So we have had a bit of a crash. Death Monk, unfortunately, just going to reconnect. Unfortunately, Rocket League has been a little bit glitchy, in case you haven't known, these past couple of weeks, Jam. I've also been having my problems. I've actually crashed twice throughout the course of this broadcast. It's a fun fact for you. We go through a lot to bring you this Rocket League action.
Could you sort of run a ticker at the bottom of the screen right now? Fun fact. Why not? If we can quickly whip it up. Spartan, obviously, thanks to him for running the broadcast for us, and for TC League for obviously providing us with such a great opportunity to cast these matches. But the Death Monk is back in action. His game maybe crashed, or disconnected, or whatever happened to him. He's back on track, and the Monks definitely will be pouncing back on this one. Right now, I mean, Team Sir has the really great sides to them. The way they actually bring the ball to the opposing side and will play it off strongly in the direction of the net, I think that might be their really strong bet. But for Monks, it's the way that every single thing that they do, even that quick save that they just did over there with the help of the crossbar and the post, but every single thing that Monk does looks impressive, looks thought through, looks efficient. And even if it's a little bit slow, or maybe they don't immediately get the result, I'm impressed. I'm looking forward to what they can bring in game number 2.
Well, right now they're going to be bringing in a great defensive that just falters for a single second, just as you say it, Jam, as well. RNZ to take the opening goal in 30 seconds, putting the first on the board for the Swiss Incredible Rebels. And he is one of the two players that really sort of stand out for this team, him and Raptor Jesus. Mirroring occasionally has his extremely good performances, but Arizona Raptor Jesus, I'm hoping to see a couple of good goals out of those guys.
Yeah, well, on that last goal, Mirroring's pass that went off the wall, I think, outplayed Bad Monk. He didn't expect it to go specifically in that spot. Or was it Sad Monk? There's too many Monks, and I'm slightly confused, Jay. But RNZ with a great finish to start here on the right foot. The Monk will be playing from behind. Not a big score line, but it still might get to their heads. No shots so far in first opening minute. And the ball, they just seemingly can't clear it off. And again, the moment I say that, the shot comes in. Not strong enough demolition means that the Monks retreat to their own half.
Ball out in the mid play. Good shot on target from Mirroring, but going a little bit too far wide. A great position from him, and again, that's sort of like that standout moment of performance we can see from him. He's a very elite level player when he wants to be. The ball going back towards the other half, that's on target, and there's nothing that Mirroring can do. That's unfortunate of a situation, but Sad Monk sniping it in from his own half, punishing a small gap in the fence and threading the needle for 1-1.
What a fantastic lead from his own half. Mirroring rushing the orange side, thinking we got this in the back, flips, boosts, he's on the top speed, rushing there. And just in that moment, there's no way to stop for him. He looked at it for a second, barely maybe he had a chance to bring it back down. But the Monks hit Team SIR on the counterattack. Team Monk hit Team SIR on the counterattack twice now. Sad Monk brings a little bit of fun stuff. Another counterattack. This time it's RNZ in the defense. No time to react for him at all. He gives up. No chance. I'm getting the colors of the Whiff Masters as those challenges hit them so hard. For Monk specifically, they seem to be hitting immediately straight into the net.
Intercepting those close passes as well. It seems like under all circumstances you'll be able to clear that and get the counter-attack set up if you are Team Sir. But right now they're just unable to break out of their own half, and when they do, they haven't got the team up here. Playing extremely cautiously right now. Mirroring going to be challenged successfully by the Monk there. Death Monk will try to put this off the backboard as well. Setting up for the ground shot from Bad Monk, because then he's going to have to take control. Sorry, that's Sad Monk, excuse me. They'll have to take control. Off that backboard, misses the ball, sets it up for his opposing side, and RNZ will capitalize and exploit. We're back to evens just as quickly.
I'm trying to figure out, you know what? I think even if he let the ball just fly forward, that would have been so much better than what he did just there. Just attempted a powerful clear, drops it straight down in the path of RNZ, who was already waiting down below, waiting for any opportunities to come his way, and that's the best opportunity he could have wished for. Monks make a big mistake. Just one player mistake. It wasn't exactly team effort. Oh, speaking of team efforts, Team SR wants to gift something back to the Monks. Strong shot blocked by 2 players. Sadmonk can get it through, but the attack continues. Sadmonk doesn't get the bumps. Actually, they don't continue the attack at all. Prefer to come back and start from their own half.
Sadmonk will gain control. Mirrorwing trying to return back. Badmonk back to Sadmonk himself, who will get it past the initial attacker. Mirrorwing's going to have to rotate into the position. Ooh, almost just about getting the defense together. That certainly could have been dangerous if he missed that particular double tap. And now Deathmonk on target. Raptor Jesus just going to come back through. A little bit of a quiet game for him, and he will set up Mirrorwing to get the clear shot right back to the orange box. Sadmonk is still waiting. Mirrorwing will go for his own setup. Do an eye back towards the midfield where RNZ is waiting. He's been putting some great shots on target, but this one's a little bit too high and too wide. So the ball remains a little bit further out. Badmonk and Deathmonk. The midfield going to try to take control where RNZ is still waiting in front. Out to the corner. It's Sadmonk still to defend it. RNZ going to get the shot. Not going to quite happen.
Team SR are really putting the pressure to Monk. Right now, this attack has been going for so long, no time to stop, and really it has been just a volleyball here, back and forth, that Monk are forced to get the boost from the other side of the field, and there's an opportunity for RNZ. That will be his 3rd one. He can get the chance going. For Monk, it's the clears that really aren't working. Currently, I feel like the Team SR is in control, while the goals are still not coming in. They are at least making the attempts. Monks currently, just the passing plays are not working. Every single time they do so, they put so many players up front. They're in danger of losing at the defense.
60 seconds left to go. We are still at 2-2 on the board, but the Monks may have a great setup up here. RNZ's got to get control, and you will be able to do so. Very dangerous ball that could have been sniped in from the mid-play. Now Raptor Jesus and Mirrorwing bumping each other out the way. Raptor Jesus will get demoed out for it, but Mirrorwing set up for a great shot that will be defended against. Couldn't quite get the double tap down. So they take control in the Monks side of the midfield. Ball out. 2 players committing to this. RNZ and Mirrorwing bumping each other, but still get the ball towards the corner. Raptor Jesus misses, and Mirrorwing's going to have to rotate back in time. Sadmonk will get demoed, but Badmonk in for a shot. Mirrorwing just rotates in time. Again, just about keeping the defensive together. And RNZ has a chance to go off this backboard. Second touch from Mirrorwing will be found. It's 27 seconds left on the clock with the Swiss Incredible Rebels in the lead.
Small touches, but small touches work. Mirrorwing didn't need to do anything fancy. Actually make sure that the ball doesn't hit the Badmonk too hard. Which one of the Monks this was? Yeah, I do believe that was Badmonk. At least, I mean, I understand why they're having the same cars, at least. It's because the robes, the everything. But it's really not helping us, the casters, to separate sad monks from bad monks from death monks. And it really needs a little bit of a really divine interference. As 15 seconds on the clock. Monks are currently dropping pretty down. The clears not happening just yet. They need a clear from one side of the field to the other. And the power is not there. Control is not there. Challenges are always there from Team SIR. One last effort, but no one is close to the ball.
Deathmonk just trying to keep it up. Oh no, the whiffs! Raptor Jesus trying to disrupt the ball's path, trying to see if he can kill it on the floor. Mirrorwing will go for a shot, and that will be enough. It's game 2. Going to the favor of the Swiss Incredible Rebels, now equalizing at 1-1 here on this board. Overall in the series. So very similar situation to the way our first series between the Whiff Masters and the Helvets came out here, except this time it's the underdogs that concede game number 2 here, Jam. And now I got to take a look at this whole thing because Swiss Incredible Rebels seem like they were also getting their team plays back together by a little bit to try and see if they can rival the Monks side. And the Monks sort of seemed to dip off the edge a little bit. They couldn't quite get all the defensives together, which is what allowed just that one extra goal to go through.
Yeah, there was a series of mistakes. Definitely one goal was scored purely because the Monks couldn't clear the ball properly, just basically gifted the ball to their opponents. As of the rest, I really have to applaud the Team SR. Really, the plays that have been starting up, the way that they bring the ball powerfully to the side, to the side of their opponents worked really well for them. They made sure that the Monks are always sort of slightly behind when the attacks come. They can't always react to those plays, and you said it as well, that the Monks have withered off just a little bit. Gone are these fantastic plays in the air. These are struggling to even bring the ball to the other side of the field right now.
Well, all tied up early on, but the ball Let's go to the favour of the Monk side as they set up the good attacks. MnK and DeathMonk in this mid play. Ooh, this is perfectly set up. MnK going to set up his teammate to come in for the aerial for the mid play. So MnK instead opts to go for the defense because he expects that clear to come through, and indeed it does. Turn back just as quickly from these boys, and MnK still being that midfield. The defender actually misses the ball, so Merwin can follow it back around, set up RNZ, who has to go off the backboard. Second touch, third follow-up coming in from Raptor Jesus. But just going to get missed. The MnK gets it back to MnK. Feeds it all the way around into the mid-play. Aerial dribble for the shot. This is off on par, but not quite on target. Raptor Jesus defends it. We remain all evened at 0.
I think Monks have still got a really strong bid with those aerial plays. Just right there, if only they can put it so well that the second player from the team can follow up, because all Monks need is that one player threatening from the air, and you can see the team SIR are putting 3 players up to defend that one. Shots coming in thick though. RNZ can follow it up on the attempt from SIR, but this was strong. Counterattack still there from SIR. They know that they can threaten their opponents. Oh, what a doink to the side. He can't get it past RNZ, but that will be a quick razzle-dazzle from the Monk side.
Oh, what a passing play. It's almost seemed like, I think DeathMonk kind of took a doink and almost put the shot on target. That was incredible stuff from the Monk side. I almost thought they were going to get the first on the board, but didn't quite work out that way. MnK still going to try and get it back to MnK. Still, they've got control in towards this blue half of the pitch as they return back. Raptor Jesus in center. MnK control. MnK once again out towards the corner. MnK set up for a shot, but he's a bit too far away. And not enough boost and not enough speed. Merwin will take control for it. So again, we remain at 0s past this halfway marker. Both teams playing so incredibly even towards each other. The great defenses and offenses matching up with each other. This could be the way to break it from Raptor Jesus. No. MnK again with a defensive. We keep things playing on here in the orange half of the pitch. Still RNZ with a good shot, a little bit too wide this time. So the clear comes through, but no counter-attack from Monks just yet.
Well, for Monks, their play in the air is mostly one player drags the ball to the net and tries to do something with it, and quite often he just individually threatens the opponents. For Team SR, it's mostly actually plays off the backboard. They want to get those double taps. Here's opportunity for a dribbling play. The dribbling play is good. MnK says goodbye. He'll be scoring this first one on such a quick breakaway. Look at that. To himself off the DeathMonk as well. DeathMonk and Merwin both trying to either help or hinder that attempt. But all it took just to flick one defender, and the flick defender did it.
A MnK, the pure striker here for the Monks side. I'm going to put that first on the board with the nice dribble away. Again, as you said, the pass in from DeathMonk pretty much enabled that whole thing to go the way that it did. So 1 minute and 45 seconds, there's an opportunity, but a shot coming in from DeathMonk and MnK and MnK on the other side to try and follow suit. We'll try and put a second on the board for this Monk side, and certainly that would benefit them nicely. Good shot in, RNZ just going to be able to defend, unfortunately. MnK couldn't quite get into position in time to get the quick bump on the defense. DeathMonk to take control, MnK denied by Raptor Jesus, and they continue to play on here on the side, but defensive does not line up for them. It's MnK with a second, 2-0 on the board for the Monks.
Aerial plays. I mean, I've heard about the flying nuns, but the flying monks is something different altogether. Defense from Team SR, too grounded for this one. Seemingly, pretty much only RNZ is really comfortable with jumping up at every single opportunity. Raptor Jesus and Mirroring prefer to play on the ground. Monks, well, they might do the same thing that the Whipmasters did to the Helvets. Just shock their opposition, and right now it's working for them perfectly. Another opportunity. We're down almost to our last minute, and I would give this to the Monks. It's just the shots that they have been making. While their defense is still not always ready to play against their opponents, Team SR perhaps whiffing a little bit on the opportunities this time. But the threats just weren't there, and for those threats that were appearing in front of the Monks net, they dealt with them perfectly.
Yeah, 45 seconds to go for the Swiss Incredible Rebels to try and score 2 back-to-back. MnK certainly wants to try and deny that, going off that backboard second touch. Going to be denied by Mirrorwing, so holding face, holding control. MnK in towards the aerial save, where MnK is also there to receive. DeathMonk also in the midfield is going to try and make sure this ball stays away from the control of the Team SIR. Mirroring still trying to set things up. RNZ with a redirection shot. Second touch not going to come through as it goes too high, and that could have been the only chance that they had at scoring the equalizer, because now 10 seconds to go. 2 goals to find. Last chance for RNZ. Then they've got to score a kick off. The double pinch commitment from Death, MnK and SandMnk will be enough in this case. They're still going to try for that last second shot, but they're out of time. And there we go. It will be the MnK side taking themselves a 2-1 in this series on game number 3. And taking themselves up to match point as well. Another upset, 2 in a row, Jam. This is all on right now.
I mean, Monks have started this pretty poorly, you know, losing both of their series against their opponents. Their first week loss, again, the Elite eSports, actually, out of all people. And then also succumbing to the Servet. Actually, that's not Servet, Silent Gaming. We have a lot of S's in the league, as well as L's. Basically, just a paradise for someone who likes alliteration. But Monks will really like nothing else more than victory in the series. That will be their first. Well, Wolfmasters brought their chance, brought their dream. Monks, it's still even more alive. They want this badly. 2 first game wins could be a series win. I'm liking their chances right now, Jay. What they've shown so far is that they are a team. Specifically, not just a collection of 3 players. They're a team, and I think that indeed comes back to what you already said. They've played together for a while, and their playstyle, reminiscent of Complexity, who also really love their passing plays, is really working wonders for them.
Yeah, but RNZ's going to get the first shot opportunity. Fortunately, Monks, with a little bit of luck, are going to get saved by their secret 4th player. It's that back post, obviously. RNZ in control of the ball once again, going to the corner. Mirroring, trying to hold face at the moment. MnK is still going to be here. SandMnk, a crucial miss, actually. That does give DeathMnk a bit more control. They're trying to see if he can boom it down. He will be able to do so. Set things up, but RNZ there with the clear. Mirroring misses his redirect. It looked like he hit it from my screen, but very clearly not. They still take control towards this midfield. DeathMnk here off the corner play. Down into the other side corner where Mirroring will be able to get control. No one for the Monks are going to try to pound it. They're going to back off. Bit more passive play in this game from both teams, but again, that third game, excuse me, went only to a goal at half time before we even got a decent opportunity to see many get constricted together.
Neither Team SR nor the Monks want to take any risks right now. So I think by the end of it, there will be...
Wow!
Oh, no. I was expecting a second pass, but DeathMnk got a better idea. Just shoot in the top right corner. It works about 90% of the time, that's for sure. Great pass, great shot of Mirroring. I mean, he was already doomed by the point he saw 2 players of the Monks approaching him. When it's so in the open, when you have time to set up your plays, the shots will be coming in thick and fast. Monk starting the 4th game with a strong one. Mirroring tries to play a little bit like RNZ with those strong shots off the wall, off the aerials, but the precision just isn't there. So many shots by Team SR were hitting the top, the sides of the goal, but never inside the goal.
Yeah, getting close but no cigar, I think, is the appropriate phrase at the moment for Team SIR. Still going to give their shots though. RNZ with great ball control, demoed out by MnK. We couldn't continue to follow that ball all the way towards the orange half of the pitch. SandMnk will still be able to get the ball on target for the Monk side, meanwhile, and MnK will also be here. RNZ takes control, Mirroring, missing his opportunity, and DeathMnk will be able to clear it back towards the mid-play, but it's still got a lot of control trying to bump the defense out of the way. Well, there will be a good shot on target. It will be denied. First encounters a shot. Ooh, but a great setup from RNZ. Raptor Jesus couldn't quite take control, and again, again, it does kind of ring similar towards the sort of like the style of play from the Strengths Incredible Rebels side. I think they are mechanically the better players than the Monks, but Monks right now know how to use that mechanics well and truly to their advantage.
Yeah, it's the individual efforts from Team SR, always looking threatening their chance for the SandMnk.
Just as I say it.
I mean, we have to curse the teams one time or the other. MnK, though, does pretty well. He removes the DeathMnk out of play completely, and he messes up the BadMonk's rotation as well. Running such an interference play that the Team SR finally get their clear chance in front of the net. And with the way they have been hitting on the net, 5 shots already, they will like to get another one. MnK really can be sort of set in this horrible place when they really are struggling to bring the ball out, and Team SR can find that little bit of a rhythm really to it and how to keep Monks at their back. Oh, BadMonk actually gets a reset out of nowhere. Yeah, again, talking about godly intervention, but he stays on the other side of the field. He actually gets a chance. continue the attack, at least keeps the ball over there. And you can see the Team SR not taking any risks, and no risks are needed.
In close though, again MnK off the wall, and the second shot, as soon as they thought they cleared it, it was not enough from the Swiss Incredible Rebels. It's 2-1 up now for the MnK side.
Oh, RNZ, now it's his time to set up his opponents with a great shot. As that drop, I mean, he got himself in a pretty poor position. His initial attempt at it, he wasn't in a good spot. He continued it. I think he should have relied on his teammate for that clear. Instead, doing all by himself really messes up the situation. Mirroring continues his attempts. It's every single time I see Team SR rushing down one of these flanks, there's always a dangerous shot at the end of it. Just that conversion is still not there for them. Slightly outshooting the Monks, but it just doesn't count when the Monks can, well, perhaps technically playing slightly worse. They're still working and looking so much better as a team.
A little over 60 seconds remaining on the clock, and again, the Monks are on match points, almost looking to seal the deal here with that goal from DeathMnK. Mirroring will just get back in time. There's still MnK on target, RaptorJesus will be there, SadMnK with the follow-up, and just defended by RNZ's 50-50, so this is really starting to ramp up now. They want to put that final goal in, and if they do, it will be another 3-1 for the favour of the MnK side, a second upset in a row, only in our second match of the day. They're going to try their best in towards this corner. Again, good shot from MnK. DeathMnK chips it up. Third man follow through from Sad. Just defended by Mirroring. The very, very last hurdle is the one that they just struggle to get past the most. But they still try and try. And in this case, they might just succeed as RaptorJesus is demoed out of the back lines. And RNZ and Mirroring still going to try and find a follow through, a shot on target. And there we go. The counter attack is baited. It's a 2-all on 20 seconds.
Apparently, all Team SR needed demolition on their side, and SadMnK being out of rotation, being demolished himself. And as nobody from MnK is getting behind the DeathMnK, who is losing that challenge pretty badly, RNZ, really, the moment he got the ball, he got all the skills, not only to pay the bills to tie the series. MnK's not celebrating the victory just yet. They are celibate in the end, so they won't be drinking, won't be really letting themselves party too much. There's no reason for a party. We're heading for a first overtime, but I feel like Team SR, with all the chances, or maybe it's MnK, their clearing chances previously were pretty good. Still alive. Oh, and this chip falls off. Car of the MnK squad. We're going into first overtime. Jay, I'm still with the Monks here. Well, they have a chance to drop the series completely, with RNZ still looking for those great shots on the side. Still something about the Monks.
Yeah, they are definitely in the right places at the right time. Well, that was a bit awkward. SadMnK having to rotate just in time to get that defensive. Mirroring in with a setup shot, just going to get denied by DeathMnK at the last hurdle. Actually wins the second 50-50 on the final defender. Set up his teammate, SadMnK. Can't quite get ball control, feed it off towards the right-hand side. Instead, can't quite get all of it in, so play on in the corner instead. But yeah, I do agree. I think I am with the Monks in this one. They have been looking at the more solid team overall throughout the course of this series. But still, RNZ are going to get set up. He has been the main point of contention for this team. They have been finding the most goals on RNZ throughout this series for the Swiss Incredible Rebels. Mirroring off towards the corner. SadMnK and DeathMnK here. Trying to take ball control. RNZ back in. Mirroring with a shot opportunity. Just not going to get denied. Seemed like it was. But it goes off the crossbar and back inside the net. 3-2 at 1 minute on overtime. Jam, we've got our first game 5.
Team SIR were really in a good position for this one. Seemingly that their attacks, their strong shots from the air, is really the kryptonite to the MnK. It's always a little bit too passive. No real good... Well, actually, previously there was a ton of challenges. Team SR were kept at bay by MnK's attempts in the air as well, with all those blocks for RNZ shots, for mirroring shots. Even if not that, just making sure that there's a player in Team SR's face so that the shot at least goes to the goes sideways. Here, it wasn't enough. It was an open opportunity for Swiss. Interesting rebels, important rebels, imaginative rebels. For one of these things, definitely, or maybe something else altogether. Team SR does indeed bring us to the game number 5, as well as bring us to our first overtime of the day. Upset still might happen. I'm not changing my vote from Monks. I feel like there's a great opportunity. Thank you, Monks.
What?
I prayed for them, and my prayers have been answered.
What a kickoff, man. What a kickoff. RNZ instantly realized his mistake as that shot came through. Oh, man. So you don't ever expect a dead centered up shot coming your way in Rocket League. Because for the most part, teams and players have always been able to manage to sort of defend against it. But now MnK trying to set up for a second one in a row. That would have been incredible if he found it twice.
He was going for the same thing. I don't know. I'm always looking for these kind of dead balls in the center. Chances are they won't happen, really. But it's a pleasure when you get it. And when you're actually hoping for it, it works perfectly for MnK. Now, though, comes the hard part. How to defend their lead against the team that really wants it. Team SIR so into it. And it really ended up the previous game with a strong opportunity of them. It's really like showing the strong side. I mean, that's the best part about how Team SIR plays, is the fact that they can set up these aerial plays, and not only they can slightly threaten, because the MnK's shots are mostly weak, but Team SR can really boom it down the line.
Early goals to the favour of the MnKs as we pass the first minute of Game 5. This one will decide whether the MnKs will remain undefeated or Swiss Incredible Rebels will take their first loss. Take that, swap that around, because it's whether the Swiss Incredible Rebels will remain undefeated or whether the MnKs side will be able to take their first victory, I should say. Regardless, it is a very, very good performance from the MnKs side, definitely stepping up in the way that we would have hoped them to find their form. Have got early control here, back in towards their half, however, still going to get kind of dangerous, especially with Mirroring setting things up, demoing out BadMnK. DeathMnK still going to follow this clear back away, allowing him a bit of an opportunity to get back into the play, and BadMnK will actually take control of the ball for it. More small amount of boost, aerial dribble past the first, but not past the second. Mirroring just getting the save in, still DeathMnK with control. Tries to go for a shot of his own, but no car control. Still MnK coming in very quickly. These quick shots could catch someone from the Swiss Incredible Rebels off guard, with their passing plays seeming to come to fruition here, Jam. It's 1-1.
Incredible Rebels try a quick attack of their own, and just as if by the book, quick pass and quick shot catches MnK off guard. Team SIR, if they continue doing this, I mean, that will be in their back. That's their strong side. The fact that they can quickly move the ball and get the chances going. Whoa, 2 in a row. I mean, that almost counts as a kickoff goal, as straight off the goal that they've scored. RNZ sets up his teammate Mirroring, while everyone on the MnK is still recovering from the first one.
Just when you thought MnKs were the only team that could get kickoff goals, Jam. And that's back to 2-1 very quickly to the favour of the Swiss Incredible Rebels. They're back in the lead. Try and prove that vote of your prediction wrong, but got a bit of work to do. It's still set up good, but no third man coming in to take the good shot. Instead, it goes back off that crossbar. DeathMnK, Jesus Christ. DeathMnK and MnK with control into the box of Mirroring. Will be able to defend it, send it back to Raptor. Mirroring. DeathMnK. Raptor Jesus coming in for the good shot on target, which will be defended by the MnK side anyway. MnK out towards the box for Mirroring is waiting. BadMnK off that back book. Can he double touch it in? No, MnK will come through. It goes off the crossbar, but does bounce back into the back of the net. It's 2 minutes and 30 with 2-2 all at even.
One of the best MnK goals we've seen so far. Set up from BadMnK all across from the other wing, giving a team opportunity to come back into this one. Nice Team SIR, just making sure that trying to make the ball go away from their own half doesn't happen. And it was just about as I was going to say that the MnKs, really, their shots, their opportunities are plentiful. Oh, and the saves are even better, I'll have to say. But every single opportunity that they have is always so weak. And then they completely change up the play and boom it down the line. So their opportunity, 2 goals, 2 minutes. Game number 5, it is... I'm a believer. I'm still a believer, Jay, but oh, when Team SR are on the roll, they can hit out of nowhere. Such a jack-in-the-box team.
They certainly are. They are on a roll right now here with the ball towards the midfield. Mirroring, going to get demoed out by MnK here. MnK also with control because the last 2 minutes on the clock, so we'll hear that 60-second marker start sounding, and we're really going to come down to the wire for another overtime, it seems. The MnKs take control. BadMnK chips it past RNZ. Raptor Jesus is going to get challenged by DeathMnK, who wins it overall, but it still goes a little bit further back and allows Mirroring to take control. Raptor Jesus back towards Mirroring again on the passing play to the mid play. RNZ will eventually win out the challenge. Can't send up towards the mid position, so DeathMnK will be there for the clear. Raptor Jesus wins out against MnK, but puts it a little bit too far wide to the left, so we continue to play on. BadMnK and trying to see if they can slow down the pacing. Demo's coming through, but the return fire from Raptor Jesus does not allow that gap to be created and exploited. So the counter-attack comes back from RNZ again, too far wide to the left, Jam. He just can't seem to line up the good shot.
Yeah, for the MnKs, it seems that they always need stuff to fall their way, while Team SR are creating the chances for themselves. They're really on it, and there's a horrible, no good challenge from the Monks as Team SIR found themselves a goal out of nowhere. With Mirroring immediately positioned his car just right. He knew that the Monks were coming in way too deep, way too, like, the angle on the goal was way too open. And even without the demolition, the 50-50 might have just easily gone Team SR's way. The ball is still getting completely killed midfield. Right now, it's working out for Team SR, who I think are now slightly bit more smarter when they approach this. And MnK set up his teammate? No, when MnK is completely removed from a play.
The lucky demo, RNZ saw exactly what was coming, but he did not see that. MnK comes in with 3-3, all evened again with a little under 40 seconds on the clock. The read's not quite good enough. RNZ couldn't defend that one. And we look to be on for overtime, Chow. I see you shaking your head. You do not look happy about that.
I'm at disbelief at the perfectness of the Deathmonk's pass. That bounce, angle on that side wall could have gone either way. It's so unpredictable, and yet it falls straight down where it needs to be. MnK gets out all the players of Team SIR, actually. It only comes to the clear Raptor Jesus because Team SIR just really flogged themselves at the ball, leaving the goal at the mercy of MnK. We might see overtime number 2. It's better not count the chickens before they hatch because we've seen counterattacks from both teams. Monks punished the side of Team Swiss Incredible Rebels with long shots going straight into the net. Raptor Jesus is still there, but it will be a 3-3 going into the overtime. MnK would like to kill it immediately. Oh my god. Given to Jesus for one last attempt. Overtime number 2, second one in a row. This one is for the victory. What happened? RNZ and Raptor Jesus, I think no one of them went for the kickoff. Monks couldn't get the opportunity going. Team SR just did do just enough to kill the ball on that side.
I don't know if they read that part, that center shot was what they were going to try and go for on the kickoff of the Monks side, because they won it before. Seemed to back off and get ready for it, but all 3 players not taking the kickoff. It's a bit of a weird start of play. Does work up for them in the end. They do return it back to the orange half of the pitch, but no shots taken. Mirrorwing will find it! And one gap was all they needed. In the end, it is a 3-2 series, but the favorites will take it. Swiss Incredible Rebels will take a 3-0, remaining undefeated in the table. Monks, however, are down by 0-3, yet to get started with a series so far in the TCS eSports League.
SIR took a little bit longer than they needed because the MnK on that attack basically just got themselves into a corner and a horrible spot to start any of the attacks or even the defense. But it also came so close to them in 2 games in a row, going into the overtime, and both times SIR prevailing. Monks are still looking for that little miracle. Maybe actually the substitution. They have a sub. He's in the MnK, but I think he might do some great stuff for a team, as Sabo Muffins might come in at some point in the tournament. Not now, and Monks still looking. I think if that's exactly the way they've played against the previous teams, unfortunately I didn't have the chance to see those matches, then I have to say that the Monks have a lot of promise. It's just that by this point they're already down 3 series, and they won't be able to play forever. It's I do believe each team plays each other twice. Is that right?
Yes, that's true. So it's not necessarily the end of the road if you've lost right now. I mean, they've already lost 3 games. Not that they've got like only 4 more weeks to try and see if they can turn a 4-3. They've got plenty more chances later on down the line. So I'm not sure whether they'll be able to come and kind of recover it. But again, as you say, they've got plenty of chances available throughout the course of the season. For now, though, you're gonna have to take the L on this one. Who's going to take the L on our next one is the question, though. Silent Gaming, a bit of crowd favorites up against Arctic Gaming are coming up after this very short break, so don't go anywhere, because the TCS eSports League will continue after this.